Uh, Hello all, welcome to today's session. I am Bhavna Kriplani, Senior BI Lead at CloudFronts. In our previous webinar, we had shared the need of BI for getting insights into business operations. In today's session, we'll walk you through the technical aspects of the reporting tools, that is SSRS and CRM dashboards. Let's have a look at the agenda for today. A quick introduction about the reporting tool. Out-of-box reports available in Dynamics CRM Online. Custom reports and its capabilities. Features, CRM charts, dashboards, and customizations. Let's begin with a quick introduction of what is SQL Server Reporting Services. It is a reporting platform for creating interactive, tabular, and graphical reports. These reports are defined in a report definition language, which is an XML representation of the report definition. It contains data retrieval and layout information for the report. There are two ways of designing the SSRS reports. First, out-of-box reporting, which is available within Dynamics CRM Online. Like we can search the entity for which you want to display the data, apply criteria for fetching the desired results, and the second option is the development environment using Visual Studio. Let's look at the demo of how we can create a report using the report wizard directly available in Dynamics CRM Online. I go to the reports menu in CRM Online, click on New. The report wizard screen opens up. Okay, I have an option of creating a report through the wizard. Let's say I give this report a name, Active Projects. Okay, so first we need to define what we want to display this report for. So I want to have a look at the projects which are currently in active state and which have started this year. So let's begin with a new report. There's also an option for editing an existing one. For now, I'll take a new report. I give this report a name, say Active Projects. Okay. The first thing is define the entity from which you want to fetch the data for. So as I mentioned, I want to look at the projects. So I select the project entity, click Next. Next, I want is that the data only for active projects and projects which have started this current year. So start date of the project will be this year and the status of the project equals active. All right. Next is we define what information to be displayed on the report. So here's the screen for adding columns, changing the properties, sorting the columns, and defining the number of records to be displayed, like say top 5, top 10, top 15, and so on. Let's begin by adding a column to the report. Let's say I want the project name. I want who manages the project, so project manager. I want to see the total budget of the project. So I click on total project. Next, I want to see the actual revenue drawn from the project, actual revenue, and so on. You can add as many columns as you want. You can also group this data by, say, if I want to group it by the project manager. So select project manager. I can sort this report. Say I want the highest budget report at the top. Okay, so total budget in descending order. All right. Click Next. Now there are two ways in which you can display this report, whether a tabular report or in a form of a graph. I select Table, click Next, and you're done. Let's have a look at the report. So I displayed records from the project entity. Let's save the report. Click on Run Report. All right. This is it. The projects which have started this year, currently in active state, grouped by the project manager, are displayed. That's it. In a quick recap of how we achieve this, click on the report wizard, define the criteria, select the columns to be displayed, and your report is ready. But as you see, the look and feel of the report is not very promising. Plus, you do not have much options available for formatting this report or any other features if we want. So we move on to the second option for creating SSRS reports, which will be again a part of CRM, but the development environment will be Visual Studio. The benefit of using this is there are many options available for formatting and designing the report. The RDL component is reduced to graphic interface where users can drag and drop icons for most aspects of the report. Basic requirements for this is CRM report authoring extension and a fetch XML query which will be downloaded from CRM online and used in the development of the report. Then once you have your RDL file built, we'll upload it to CRM using the CRM interface. So let's have a look at how to get this fetch XML query from CRM online. All right. I go to the project menu in CRM. There is an option, say Advanced Find. Okay. In Advanced Find, the entity is selected, like which entity you want the report for. So in this case, is projects. I say select a new view. Same criteria which we applied, like project status is active, and I want only the projects which have started this year. So start date is this year. So you have the entity, you have the criteria. Now third step was to define the columns to be displayed on the report. I click on Edit Columns and select the columns which I want for the report. Say actual revenue, client name, the project manager, the start date of the report, the total budget of the report. Okay. Once you have this defined, click on Download Fetch XML. Say open. Now this is an XML code of the query, which is nothing similar to a SQL query, which says select these columns from the table project where project status is active and start date is current year. So we will be using this fetch XML query for development of our report. Let's move on to the development environment. I say add a new item. Add new item. Okay, report. First step is defining the data source of the report. Second step is defining the data set of the report. Third will be the parameters of the report. Fourth will be the layout of the report. Let's begin with the first step. When I say add data source, the type is Microsoft Dynamics CRM Fetch. I say, suppose I'm getting data from CRM. The connection string used will be the URL of the CRM and the organization name. Then you need to provide the credentials. So let's see this. Okay. Connection string, credentials. Okay. Then you define the data set. You say add data set. Use the data set embedded in my report. Select the data source which you just created and copy this fetch XML query and put it here. All right. So you have your query, you have your data source. there are options for creating a tabular report, a matrix, or a chart. So I created a simple tabular report where I drag and drop these columns. Like you can select the column from here, which column you want to give a heading. Like that, I have the information about the project, which we just now saw through the report wizard. All right. Once you have this RDL file ready, let's see how to upload it into CRM. Come again to report section, click on new. Now instead of selecting report wizard report, I click on existing file. I browse the file which I just created, okay, and save it. Once you have the file, you can run the report. Click on run report. You can see the difference between the report created from a report wizard and the report created from Visual Studio. It is much cleaner, in a better formatted way. You have different options for changing the color, changing the font, and so on. So after creating a simple report, let's move on to a bit complex report, which can be run from a entity in CRM. So I am on the project entity. Let's say I want to run a report for this project and send it to my client. I have a report which is a billing report. Okay. Click on the selected records. The main feature of this report was it was run from within a CRM entity, which is a feature called pre-filtering of the report. This report is complex in a bit that it is fetching data from more than one entity, also displaying data in a different format. Fetching data from more than one entity, that means you have project information at the top in a list format. You have time entries related in a tabular format, which is fetched from a different entity called time entry. These are the time entries entered by the resources for this project. Okay, so you have all this combined in a single report. Now, I want to run this report, say, only for the current month. So, I have parameters defined for this report. That is, start date will be first date of the current month and end date will be today's date. So, and you can anytime go and change the criteria. Suppose if I want to also have a look at the previous month's time entries. So you have it. The second is all the headers are sortable. You can sort the report, say, on any column. And as a resource, it is sorted ascending in a chronological order by resource. There are pre-calculations done on the report. Say this cost column is a calculated column. Let's see how did I achieve it. So when I go to billing report, I click on the cost cell and click on expression. It is nothing but the time entered by the resource times the rate value of the resource. So if a developer has a resource rate of, say, $100 and he has worked for 8 hours, his cost will be $800. Then about sorting, if I again go to text box properties, click on interactive sorting, I can give here which field I want to sort by. So like that, you can sort on all the columns. The next thing you can see is what if I want to look at the time entries of only a particular resource. Say I click on any of the resource, it should redirect me to another report which contains time entries of only this particular resource. So let's have a look at it. I click on a resource. The same parameters will be passed to another report. Okay, same parameters are passed with only one resource name. So I have only time entries of this particular resource for the selected time duration. All right. So how did I achieve this? Is when I click on the owner ID, what should happen? So you go to text box properties, say action, means on click of it, what should happen? Action is you should go to another report. So click on go to report, specify a report which you want to open. So time entries and the parameters you pass for opening this report. So username is passed, which is the owner ID, start date is passed, and a CRM URL is passed. All right. The next feature we can have a look at is, let's go back to the parent report. What if I want to see more information about the project? I just click on the project name and I can enter the project record directly into CRM. Wow. So it opens the entity and the record which I clicked on. And how this is made possible is by again selecting the text box properties, but this time the action will not be open a report. It will be open a URL. So you click go to URL and you give the parameter, that is CRM URL, which ID you open for, and the entity name. All right. Now I have everything ready with me. I just want to send this report to my client. What can I do? I can export it to any format and email it to my client. There are exporting options available. Let's say I export it to a PDF file and just email it to my client. You have a clean PDF report with you. So client need not log in into CRM, go to run report, get the information about the project, about the resources who have entered time for this project. You have to just send this PDF formatted report. Cool. So the capabilities recap which we just saw. From a record in CRM, I opened the report, which is the pre-filtering. I select a date range for opening this report, which is the parameters. I define a column which is already pre-calculated in the report, which is not present in the entity, that is pre-calculations. Next, I click on a record and directly open a record in CRM, which is hyperlink. Next, I click on a name and open another report in the same window by passing the parameters from the parent report, which is a feature called drill through. Okay? Let's summarize the features of SSRS. It is integrated with Dynamics CRM Online, fetches real-time data, easy to regenerate. You need not save the file, then do the calculations, then again upload it. You can just go anytime and run this report. Reports can be designed in tabular format, matrix, chart, aggregations, summarization is done using expressions. Drill through reports and interactivity by providing links to sub-reports. You can use parameters to filter data, and all the presentation formats. You can export it to XML, PDF, Word, Excel. All right. I'll hand over to Ashish for demonstration of CRM charts and dashboarding capabilities for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavna. Hello, everyone. My name is Ashish, and today in this session, I'll be talking about CRM charts and dashboard, which is one of the most powerful features in CRM Online. Okay, we'll also be going to the technical aspects of CRM charts and dashboards, and we'll demonstrate few capabilities along with an example. Okay, so CRM charts. So they are graphical view of business data. Like in our day-to-day life, we want to view our business data in a graphical format. We want to view the performance of the business, the growth, the revenue, the sales activity. So all this can be monitored with the help of a simple graphical view, that is the CRM charts. So they are also known as visualizations in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So CRM charts, also known by the name Microsoft Dynamics CRM or visualizations. So they are attached to an entity in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So if you look at this example, so this is an entity project. So we have over here charts attached to this entity, that is the project entity. So with the help of this entity, we can attach a chart, but only one chart at a time. Okay, so if you want to view the multiple visualizations, we can view with the help of a single dashboard, which we'll be looking in a few minutes. And the last point is derived from the namespace system.charting. Like this namespace contains hundreds of different classes and methods by which we can perform different capabilities of charts and modify those charts. Alright, so before moving on to the next part, we'll take a demonstration of charts, how to create simple charts in CRM, how to modify those charts. Okay, so we have over here a plus sign to create a new chart. So this is the chart designer which is available in CRM. So what are the different components of this chart? We have a vertical axis known as the series and a horizontal axis known as the category. So what we'll do is we'll take a project, we'll take different projects present over here and compare with respect to total budget and the actual revenue. So we'll define two series. First one is the total budget and next one is the actual revenue. So this is the aggregate function we have, that is average, mean, max, count and sum. And we have different types of charts, like we can prepare a bar chart, we can prepare a column chart or a pie chart, funnel chart. On the horizontal axis we'll select a project name. So we want to view different projects with respect to the budget and the actual revenue. So that's done. We'll just give this CRM chart a name, is total versus actual. And we'll save this CRM chart. Okay, so we'll close this designer and here it goes. This is how it will look like. So we have on the left hand side we have the sum of total budget and on the right hand side we have the sum of actual revenue. This bottom horizontal axis represents the project name and this two represents the legends. Okay, so if you look at this chart, there are different disadvantages or drawbacks for these charts, like the scale mismatching. On the left hand side we have some different scale, while on the right hand side we have some different scale, because of which the bars are not properly aligned. Like take this example for CRM dashboard, we have the same revenue but they are in different positions with respect to the total budget and actual revenue. Also the data labels which are present at the top of the bar are quite confusing. Like you can see over here, they are creating a mess. We are not able to figure out which revenue belongs to which chart and so on. So in short, we need to modify this chart so that it looks much more beautiful to visualize the data. So what we can do? So we have the option to export this chart. So if you want to modify this chart, we need to download the XML code for this chart. So with the help of this export option present over here, we can export the XML for this chart. Like I'll save this and I'll open this XML. There it goes. So this is the XML code for that particular chart. So let's take a look on a high level what this represents. So this highlighted part represents the data, like from where we are going to take the data, from where we are going to import the data. Like we have, this is the name of the chart, then we have the entity from where we are going to take, like we have the project entity, and which function we are going to perform, some function or any other function. So likewise, we have different XML tags, and this bottom part represents the part for designing aspects. Like we want to play with the series, we want to change the series name, or we want to play with the axis, we want to change the title of the axis, we want to change the color code, or we want to change the font size of the axis. Then we have the title part. So we want to align the title at the top or to the right. So with the help of these tags, we can play with this chart. And at the last, we have the legends. Okay, so this is how the XML code for a particular CRM chart look like. Okay, so what we'll do is, we'll modify this chart and see what are the different capabilities available in CRM. So after importing this XML code, what we'll do is, we'll try to modify this chart one by one. For example, first we'll combine this axis. There are two different axes, so we'll combine into a single axis so that the bars does not mismatches. So we'll combine this into a single axis, and we'll try to remove those labels which are quite confusing over here. So we'll do these two things. So to remove the axis, what we'll do is, we'll remove this tag from the series tag, that is y-axis type equal to secondary. So by removing this, we are combining both axes into a single axis. And second thing is, we'll remove this property, or we'll change this property from true to false, that is value shown as label, so that we are able to remove those currency numbers which are quite confusing. So we'll make it as false in both the case for both the series. Okay, so we have made two changes. First one is, we have removed the label, and the second change is, we have combined the two axes into a single axis. What we'll do is, we'll save this chart, okay, or we'll save this XML code, and we'll go back to a CRM. So after saving that XML code, we'll import this code back into the CRM so that the changes are reflected over here. So we have the option to import the chart. We'll click on import chart, and we'll select from which location you have saved the chart. So likewise, we select the chart and we import the chart, and after importing, you will get a chart which looks something like this. This is what you are going to achieve, that is, we are going to combine these two axes into a single axis, and we remove those labels from the top of the bar. Okay, so it looks much more beautiful as compared to the previous chart. Okay, alright. So, but there are still some more things which we can do with the CRM charts. Like, I'm not happy with this label. It's quite confusing, like a sum of total budget and sum of actual revenue. So it should be just a total budget and total revenue. That means I need to rename this label, or I need to have some beautiful arrow style at the axis end, like we have arrow style. And also, I want to leave the label in a short format, like I want to see something like, for this value I want 100,000 or 200,000, something like that. So let's see how we can achieve this. In the similar way, we can export this chart or download the XML code for this chart and modify the chart. Okay, so this is the code or the XML code for this chart. What we'll do is, we have highlighted the part which we have changed. So the first one is label format. So we want labels in the form of thousands, like 200,000, $100,000, like that. And also we'll enable this property from false to true, because we are going to show the label. So we are enabling this property to true. Also, we are adding a new legend. So instead of that sum of actual revenue and sum of total budget, we'll be adding just a total budget and actual revenue. So we are adding this tag inside the series. Also, we want some beautiful arrows at the axis end. So inside this axis Y, we'll add a tag that is arrow style equal to triangle. Similarly for x-axis also we'll add this arrow style equal to triangle. And last but not the least, we'll change this name from project name to just a single project. So these are the changes which I have highlighted. So what we'll do is we'll save this code, XML code, and import back to the CRM. So like we have done previously, we'll import this code back to the CRM with the help of import options. And here it goes. This is how it will look like after importing back to the CRM. So whatever changes we have made, we have changed the label, we have changed the title, and we have added some arrow style, we have added some data labels at the top of the chart. Okay, so these are all changes what we have done. But still, I'm not happy with these colors of the CRM charts. So this blue color, red color, I hate this color. So what if I want some beautiful colors for the CRM charts? What provisions do I have? So once again, I'll export this chart or I'll download this chart and I'll play with the colors. Okay, so we have different palettes like we have bright, grayscale, Excel, pastel, chocolate, fire, sea green. So any color or any color combination you want to use in your chart, you can use this palette codes. For now, I have used over here palette color is equals to fire. Or else we have another option of choosing the RGB color format. So instead of this code, you can write something like you want orange color or you want another bar as blue color. Okay, so likewise you can change the XML code as per your convenience. So for now, I'll change it to palette. I'll save this XML code and import back to the CRM. And this is the third chart after modification. Here it goes. Wow, that's beautiful. So this is much more beautiful as compared to the previous charts which we saw. Okay. What if I want to view this chart in a 3D format or in a 3D view? Right now we have a 2D view for this chart. But what if I want to view this chart in a 3D view or in a 3D format? Do we have this provision? Yes, we have. In a similar way we can export the code, download the code, and we can create some beautiful 3D charts. So how we can achieve this? Just we need to add a simple tag that is area 3D style, and we have to enable it from false to true so that we are able to view the 3D charts for that particular property. Also, if you want to customize the width and height or the pixel points, I have highlighted over here. So we'll save this XML code and we'll import back to the CRM, and this is the 3D chart for the previous 2D chart what we saw. This looks pretty cool. So likewise we have different 3D charts created. We have a 3D pie chart. So this is how 3D pie chart looks. We have a 3D cylindrical chart, so in the form of a cylinders. Then we have 3D donut chart. So this is a modification to the pie chart. So here we have made some spatial modifications like the completed color is green. So we have marked it as green because since the project is completed. So we can see over here I've given this 4 colors: blue, green, orange and red. So blue stands for active, green for completed, and on hold it's a danger sign, so it's a red color. So likewise we can modify those shapes. Okay, so we have those different 3D charts created. One more thing we can see is we can also sort these bars, like we want to see which project is performing better, like the CRM charts in terms of revenue. It's at $240,000. So we have sorted this chart in descending format from top to the bottom. So we can sort in ascending format also. We can do much lot things with the CRM charts. Okay, so what we have saw till now is CRM charts and its modifications. We have seen multi-series chart, that is 2 different series and then combined to a single series. Then we have seen the axis modification, like we have changed the labels, we have changed the title, we have played some colors, then we have changed the color palettes, we have seen the file, and then we have created some 3D charts, 3D pie chart, donut chart, column chart, and so on. And we have seen the sorting, how we can sort the charts. Alright. So a quick recap. So with the help of these CRM charts, we can drill down, we can present multi-series chart, and we can customize, and we can save and share those charts. Okay, so this was all about CRM charts, but we have a lot more things in CRM charts. For now, we'll move on to the dashboard. So what are dashboards? As we have discussed, if you want to view multiple visualizations in a single plane or single place, we have a provision in CRM known as CRM dashboards. So what we'll do is we'll club all those charts together in a single place and club it into a single dashboard. So we have 4 different components, that is chart, list, iframe, and web resource. Take a look. We'll quickly create a single dashboard in CRM. We'll go to sales. Then we'll click on new. After going on to the dashboard, we'll click on new. So basically we'll be looking at the 4 different components, how we will create a chart, an iframe, or we'll embed a list inside a dashboard. Alright, it's loading. So I'll click on new to create a new dashboard. So at the most you can place 6 different components inside a single dashboard. So we have an option to choose 3-column dashboard or 4-column dashboard. So for now I'll choose this 3-column OV dashboard. Click on create. Okay, so these are the 4 different components, the chart, list, web resource, and iframe. So what we'll do is we'll first place a single chart into this dashboard. What we have created the charts previously, will embed this chart inside this dashboard. For the project entity, we'll select the project entity, and whichever chart you want to put inside the dashboard, like I'll choose this 3D pie chart, and click on add. So likewise we can place different charts. Also we can place list or views inside the dashboard. Web resource, if you want to embed an HTML page or a JavaScript page or an iframe. So what Bhavna has created a report in the previous session, we can place these reports inside these dashboards with the help of iframe. So after placing all these components, this is how the dashboard will look like. We have 6 different components. Inside this we have 4 charts, top 3 charts, and this is a list or the view. It's a list for my projects. And at the bottom we have the report which Bhavna had created. So we can filter out these reports as per the user. And so this is how we can have a glance at a single dashboard at just one place. Okay, so this was about dashboard. To summarize, we can combine different data from different entities. We can set those dashboard to default dashboard, like a project manager wants to view a particular dashboard as a default dashboard. So we can set the default dashboard. Also we can embed a report inside a dashboard using iframe, just now we saw. Then we can customize the height and width of each component inside the dashboard. And we can share those dashboards with different users. We can share with the sales team, we can share with the marketing team. And last but not the least, we can create mobile dashboards for your iPad or tablets or the mobile devices. Okay, so this was all about CRM charts and dashboards, which just now we saw. It was one of the most powerful features in CRM Online. So any queries till now?
Hello? Does anyone have any question?
Okay, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand or you can type in the chat box over there. And please don't forget, we have another session at 8:30 for Microsoft Power BI, which will be presented by a senior data analyst, Sagar, in a few minutes. So you can join this session. For now, anyone having any query?
I have a question. This is Srilata.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, in the I see on AdHoc you and Bhavana created the reports. So, are there any particular permissions you need in order to do this? Like, okay, I meant to ask, like, we have a report SSRS report you take, you have report manager and report viewer. So, whenever you are doing the work, you do the report manager, but when it's published for the client, you view the report viewer. So, like that, Microsoft Dynamics CRM, wherever you can add the charts, where you can create the reports like Bhavna showed. So those are the options are available for everybody or only for the administrator or who can create or modify the reports?
Yeah, it depends on the role assigned to you in CRM Online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I
Any other
thought.
question, ma'am?
Fine. Looks good. Thank you.
Okay, do visit our website www.cloudfronts.com or you can email us at info@cloudfronts.com.
Okay.
Thank you
Another
so much
quick
for your
question.
valuable time. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yes.
Like, do you have this recorded somewhere to view later, or is this like?
Yeah, sure. We will be sharing this recording and the slide deck. You will be having it by tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Yep.
you so much.
Thanks. Bye.